Hey there, guys. This is Lee with the Market Sense for the week of April 16th, 2019. I certainly hope you got your taxes in yesterday. And the charts in this presentation are provided to us by Gettess and their Trade Navigator software. The first chart we're looking at is a weekly bond market chart here, and this is interesting. After this sideways mess here, they broke out to the upside and had a pretty nice run. But they got over with really fast, only lasted a couple weeks, and they've turned back down, and they are now kind of breaking down. Really thought the best support this week, or resistance this week, was up in the 148.12 area here, the middle moving average. You can see they haven't come anywhere near that yet, anyway. But this is the interesting thing. This is the area I've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. The projected low for this week is at 146.08. And that coincides very well with the highs of all of this area back in here. And the old hound dog theory says the market's a dog and it goes back to sniff and see what it's done. And if it likes this and it turns it into support now, they not only could bounce, they could, well, at least go test the highs and possibly even have another leg up to new highs. So this is a really critical area of support, and I will be looking hard for reasons to buy this if they provide any to me during the day. If they don't hold this as support, then probably the best you can hope for is that they're just going back into this sideways area and they're going to remain here, kind of like above the mid-Keltner channel there, right in that area. Or what's maybe more likely is that they've done their upside business, or tried to anyway, and now they're going to try to do some downside. That's maybe a bit more likely than just going sideways here. Can't predict that though. At this point, this previous resistance that they broke out from could turn into support, and that could be really, really good if it does. The market will still look really positive as long as they hold in this area, despite the move down recently. Stocks don't look anything like bonds at all, and in fact, this has got to be about the most boring rally imaginable, and that's kind of scary. They can lull you to sleep, and they're within about 30 points of the all-time highs here, or getting close to it anyway, 40 points, and nobody's talking about it because they're not really doing anything, or at least that's how it seems. But I should point out, in the entire year, they've basically only had 2 moves down, and each of them lasted a week. They broke down a week here, turned right back up. They broke down a week here, turned right back up. And this turn up here went boom, right away up, closed on the highs of the week. This week didn't trade either support or resistance, but went higher. And so far this week, we've traded neither support or resistance, but we're higher. It's just sort of a boring humdrum, not getting anybody's attention, but going up. For this week, we are looking at the 29.25 area as potential resistance, and I would call that more as a target than resistance. I'm kind of gun shy about selling anything up here, but and the support 28.85, again, they didn't get down to support last week. They haven't come close to it yet this week, but they could. And I'll break down to the middle moving average here at 28.68, or even down to the lower moving average 28.37. Neither of those would be ugly. Though that would still look pretty good. So if they do turn down from here, they're going to have to show us some sort of signs that they're in some trouble. What they're showing now, there's nothing negative about it. I mean, they could turn down from here easily. Certainly, one of the ways a market makes a high is the volatility just shrinks up, like we're getting smaller and smaller here, and then it just kind of rolls over and blows down. That could happen, but it hasn't done it yet, and so at this point, it actually still looks pretty good, and good, while not being exciting, is just sort of an unusual situation. Usually a market gets up to new highs, they start showing some volatility and some excitement, and this is doing just the opposite. So that's fascinating, but again, nothing really negative to report yet. So that's what we've got for you today. I hope you can find something profitable to get